What if I told you that the future of living isn't about conquering nature? It's about dancing with it. Picture this, a home that drinks from the sky, breathes with the seasons, and stands like a monument to everything we forgot about survival. This isn't just architecture. This is rebellion wrapped in steel and wood, disguised as a barn. You see, there's something almost poetic about a barndominium. The word itself feels like a contradiction, doesn't it? Barn, rugged, utilitarian, honest. Condominium, refined, modern, aspirational. Smash them together, and you get this beautiful anomaly, this architectural middle finger to the suburbs, to the cookie-cutter dream homes that all look like they were sneezed out of the same factory. But we're not here to talk about just any barndominium. No. We're here to talk about the ones that have learned to catch the rain. And when I say catch the rain, I don't mean some cutesy rain barrel tucked behind the garage. I mean a home so intelligently designed that every drop of water falling from the heavens becomes part of its bloodstream, its nervous system, its very essence. A home that doesn't just sit on the land, it becomes the land. Let's start with something that might sound obvious, but is actually profound. Water is becoming the new oil, not in some distant, apocalyptic future. Right now, as climate patterns shift and aquifers drain and municipalities struggle with infrastructure that's crumbling faster than we can repair it, the question isn't, should I harvest rainwater? The question is, how quickly can I start? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it's a simple way to show your love for these incredible designs. And here's where the barndominium enters like a hero in Act 2. Because unlike traditional homes, with their complex roof valleys, their decorative eaves, their architectural flourishes that look pretty but complicate everything, a barndominium is essentially one giant, glorious catchment surface. That metal roof, that's not just keeping you dry. That's a watershed. That's a reservoir waiting to happen. Every square foot of that roof becomes a collector, a gatherer, a provider. Think about the average barndominium roof. We're talking anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 square feet of collection area. Now, here's the math that'll make your heart race. Every inch of rain that falls on 1,000 square feet of roof yields roughly 600 gallons of water. 600 gallons from 1 inch of rain. So if you're sitting on a 3,000 square foot roof in an area that gets, say, 30 inches of annual rainfall, you're looking at 54,000 gallons of water per year falling from the sky. But let's pause for a moment, because this isn't really about gallons and square footage, is it? This is about something deeper. This is about the feeling you get when you realize you're not entirely dependent on a system that could fail you. It's about the quiet confidence of knowing that when the drought comes, and it will come, you have reserves. It's about the almost primal satisfaction of using something that literally falls from the heavens for free, instead of paying someone to pump it from the ground and pipe it to your house. There's a word for this feeling, and I think it's been lost in our modern vocabulary: sovereignty. Not the political kind, the personal kind. The kind where you wake up in your barndominium, make your coffee with water that fell on your roof last Tuesday, and feel like you've won some small, sacred victory against entropy itself. We share new content regularly to help you create spaces you love, so don't forget to subscribe. Now, designing a rainwater harvest barndominium isn't just about bolting some gutters onto a pole barn and calling it a day. Oh no. This is where art meets engineering, where aesthetics shake hands with sustainability, where your home becomes a living, breathing ecosystem. The first thing you need to understand is that every design decision ripples outward. The pitch of your roof? That's not just about snow load or aesthetic preference. That's about water velocity, about self-cleaning efficiency, about how quickly water moves from sky to storage. Too flat, and you get pooling, debris accumulation, mosquito breeding grounds. Too steep, and you get erosion around your foundation. unnecessarily fast runoff that could overwhelm your system during heavy storms. The sweet spot? Somewhere between a 312 and a 512 pitch. Steep enough to shed water efficiently, gentle enough to manage flow rates. And here's the beautiful part. This is exactly the pitch range that already looks right on a barndominium. Form following function following form. It's elegant. It's efficient. It's right. Let's talk about gutters for a second, because they're about to become the most important part of your home that you never think about. In a rainwater harvest system, gutters aren't just gutters, they're arteries. They're the veins that carry life throughout your property. And they need to be sized appropriately, which almost nobody does. Standard residential gutters are 5 inches. 5 inches. That might work for suburban homes where water is just being shunted away to storm drains. But when you're actually harvesting, when every drop matters, you need 6-inch gutters minimum. 7 inches better. 8 inches if you're in an area prone to gully washers and storm cells that dump inches of rain in minutes. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means to me, and it helps keep the design ideas coming your way. And the material matters more than you think. Aluminum is cheap, sure, but it's weak. It sags. It dents. It develops microleaks. Galvanized steel is better, stronger, more durable, but it can rust over time and leach zinc into your water. Copper is gorgeous, practically eternal, but unless you're made of money, it's probably not realistic for a whole house system. The answer? Pre-painted galvanized steel, or, better yet, stainless steel if you can swing it. It'll outlast your mortgage and keep your water clean. But here's where it gets interesting. Here's where the barndominium design actually gives you an advantage that conventional homes can't match. Simplicity of drainage zones. In a traditional home, you might have 6, 8, 10 different roof planes all draining in different directions, requiring complex gutter networks and multiple downspouts and junction points where things can clog or overflow. A barndominium? You typically have 2 or maybe 4 roof planes. That's it. Simple, elegant, fewer failure points. And this simplicity extends to your storage strategy. You can place your cisterns, and yes, plural, we'll get to that, in locations that make actual logical sense. Along the north side where they're shaded and water stays cool? Perfect. Partially buried on the east side to leverage thermal mass? Beautiful. Elevated on the south side to provide gravity-fed pressure? Chef's kiss. Now we need to talk about storage, and this is where most people's imaginations fail them. They think rain barrel, or maybe big rain barrel. Wrong. Think big, then think bigger, then double it. If you love this type of look, hit that subscribe button to help us create more videos. And let us know in the comments what you'd love to see in future videos. The general rule is you want to store enough water to get through your dry season, plus a buffer for the unexpected. If you live somewhere with a defined dry season, say 3 months without significant rainfall, and your household uses 300 gallons per day, you need at least 27,000 gallons of storage. Minimum. And that's before we account for irrigation, livestock, or the fact that not every rain event is going to top off your tanks. But here's the twist. In a barndominium design, your storage doesn't have to be some ugly, utilitarian tank plunked in your yard like a beached whale. Your storage can be beautiful. It can be integrated. It can be architectural. Think about tanks tucked under covered porches, providing thermal mass that moderates temperature swings. Think about sleek, powder-coated steel tanks that match your trim color. Think about partially buried ferro-cement cisterns that landscape around, creating microclimates and garden beds that benefit from the humidity they release. Some of the most brilliant barndominium designs I've seen treat water storage like a feature, not a bug. Tall, slender tanks flanking the entrance like sentinels. Low, long tanks forming the base of a covered outdoor living area. Even interior tanks in mechanical rooms, doubling as thermal mass for passive climate control. Of course, Water falling from the sky isn't automatically potable. It's clean, cleaner than most surface water, cleaner than many municipal supplies, but it's not sterile. It's picked up dust particles, pollen, bird droppings, the occasional leaf. And that metal roof, while excellent for collection, can leach trace minerals depending on the coating.